the most broken people. Can be great leaders.
So Black Panther Wakanda Forever is going to be one of those movies that you're going to want to go and watch just to see how they handled the death of Chadwick Boseman. Queen Ramonda, Shuri, M'Baku, Okoye, and Adora Majay fight to protect their nation from intervening world powers in the wake of King T'Challa's death. As the Wakandians strive to embrace their next chapter, the heroes must band together with Nakia and Everett Ross to forge a new path for their beloved kingdom. I have to be honest with you guys, although I really enjoyed this movie, and I really do mean like I thoroughly enjoyed this movie, I felt like it was lacking in a few areas. And what I mean by that is you can really tell that this wasn't the original movie that they planned to make. I mean, it's pretty obvious at some points because, you know, all this stuff going back, you know that they had to reshoot everything because, you know, Chadwick Boseman had passed away. So they had to completely reshoot the film, change the story around. This just wasn't the story that they were originally trying to tell, and it's not really their fault. I'll start by talking about the first portion of the movie because, I'll be honest with you, the way that they handled T'Challa's death was they took the safe route, and I was worried that they were going to take the safe route, and this could just be me, but you know, they could have done it any other way, but of course, you know, they wanted to play it safe, and that's exactly what they ended up doing. Not only that, but it didn't really hit as well as I thought it would. Again, you know, this could be me, but you know, I'm not sure how many of you guys watched the trailer of this film or any of the trailers for it. The trailer really got to me. I was watching the trailer and I'm like, yes, this movie is going to be emotional. You can tell that with the funeral and the opening of the trailer that it's going to be a very emotional scene. But I'll be honest with you, I didn't really feel anything watching the full movie when it came to those scenes. It's like the trailer did it way better than the actual movie did. Like, the trailer did such a good job setting the tone for the movie that it almost felt underwhelming when actually watching the full movie. Besides that though, I mean, I felt like the rest of the movie was great. I enjoyed every single bit of the movie. I liked some characters. I liked where they're going with the story. This movie has some really good pacing in it, and not like other movies where the pacing feels too long or too short. No, this movie was like just perfect. You know, everything fit well. I wasn't bored. I mean, it was basically a 3-hour movie, but it didn't feel long, and then of course it didn't feel short. It felt like it was the right length. In this movie, we're introduced to Namor. He's a new character that they brought into the MCU. Of course, you know, he's been here in the comics, but this is the first time seeing Namor on the big screen. And, you know, for the most part, I really liked Namor. I mean, I liked everything about him. He looked really cool. He seemed pretty cool. The way that he fought, like all of his fighting scenes, every single time he was on, I was like, yes, you know, I get to actually see this guy. It was really cool watching him fly around with his weird little feet feather thingies and just watching him fight. You know, he's really cool. He's a really strong guy and proves to be a really strong antagonist in this movie. As you can tell in the trailer, this movie focuses on a war of Wakandians versus Namor's people. And I'll be honest with you, I felt like the reasoning for them going to war was pretty dumb because there was a solution that could have fixed it, and they told them about it, but they still wanted to go to war. It didn't really make sense to me. I mean, I get it. I do get it, but it was avoidable. So they ended up having to go to war for a pretty dumb reason. But I mean, if you're able to put that to the side, you know, I'm willing to put it to the side. His story and his, like, everything about him was just like really cool to see on the screen. His people were really great. His city is basically like, Wakanda, but underwater. It's Atlantis, basically. And Namor also isn't really the only person in this movie who shines a lot, because they finally added Riri Williams to the MCU. And I've been looking forward to seeing Riri Williams in the MCU. They showed her in the trailer and everything, so it's not a spoiler. They show her in her Ironheart suit, and it just looks really cool. And I was really excited to see her fly around and stuff and get along with the rest of the people of Wakanda. She fit in. She fit in really well. I was a little surprised of them bringing Riri Williams into, Black Panther instead of like, I don't know, any other movie. So I guess this is just the direction that they wanted to go with. I mean, I guess it kind of makes sense. And like every single time that she was on screen, she delivered. Like she actually did her role really good. I was excited. The entire theater was really excited. People were screaming like, oh yes, more power. And it was just, like I said, it was just really fun to see her on the screen. And, she had some really good chemistry with Shuri and, the rest of the Wakandians. So it was almost like that's somewhere that she needed to be. She was also really funny. I mean, to be honest with you, the entire, cast was funny in this movie. You can tell that Marvel really dialed things up a bit for this movie. I don't normally talk about this a lot in my other reviews. I started to realize that I might do this a bit more, but the reason why I'm mentioning it in this one is because it's pretty much the same thing as it was in the last movie, where the soundtrack was amazing. Like, I liked every single song that played. They all fit, especially one song towards the end of the movie when things are like starting to pick up a lot. I know that this is going to be another one of the movies that I download the entire soundtrack whenever it comes out. I'm going to pick it up and maybe use one for my ringtone. So if you're going to watch this movie, I highly recommend going to watch it in like IMAX or anything with like a really good sound system. I promise you'll be missing out if you go to some theater with some crappy audio. I would just fork up the extra, the $18 to go see this movie in a really nice theater, or however much it is wherever you are. And yes, of course, this movie has a mid-credit scene. If I were you, I'd stick around and watch that. If you're a Marvel fan, you already know this. I will save you some time though. There is no post-credit scene, just the mid-credit scene. There's nothing at the end. Save yourself some trouble from going to do that. Like I said, I really enjoyed this movie, and it's a really good way to end Phase 4. I would highly recommend that everyone go watch this movie, especially if you like the first one. I'm sure that you'll like this one. Even though it's not as good as the first one, this one is still a really good watch. And I won't even lie, I was a little worried about this because, they had to abandon the script because, for obvious reasons. They had to completely rewrite things and change a lot of things with this movie. So it had me a little worried about how they're going to deal with things, what they were going to do. But I kind of feel like they took the best route with it. So, if you guys plan to watch this movie, or if you've already watched this movie, let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. And don't forget to hit the like button. And if you like what I'm doing and you want to see more videos from me, please hit the subscribe button. It'll really help out my channel. I'm getting close. I'm getting closer to getting more people to subscribe. I'm at 49 right now. My goal is for by the end of the year to at least get to 50 subscribers. So maybe even more before then. So I'll see you guys next time.